good with it? It's your boy, Simon Phoenix. This is Shots Fired Sunday Night Rant. What up, what up, what up? So as we slide off into another action-packed Sunday, you know how we do. If not on Sundays, I normally answer email questions or Facebook conversations that I find to be interesting. And you guys do a great job of sending me emails, so let's get right into it. First email of the day says, "Hey Simon, what is your viewpoint on how fast people jump to the defense of Asians, and what is your take?" Well, I as a person am biased off the jump, and I will explain why. As a former United States Marine, I was stationed in Japan. To be exact, the city was Ibukuni, Japan, which is a medium-sized city there. And because I was stationed at an air station, I was very close to the city, meaning that you walk right outside my door and you were in that city. And so there was no traveling, long distances or anything. And so I got to really hang out with the Japanese people. And I, for lack of a better word, became very, very fond of them and their culture. And so I'm kind of one of those people that I have to see Asian people do some really fucked up things for me to not come to their defense. And when you're talking about how fast people did come to Asian America's defense when it came to racism, let's put it on the floor. What this really was about was clown behavior, and a lot of people just felt like they were being picked on, and not picked on in a way that traditionally would make a little more sense in America. Like, this wasn't a normal race crime of someone just saying, "Hey, I don't like you, you're Asian, I'm a dumbass and an asshole, I'm racist," right? That wasn't that. It was more based on the fact of fear and stupidity, different type of stupidity, we would say over this way, that this has happened, that this goes down. So I looked at it and was like, yes, I believe that people are going to stand up for Asian America because they didn't deserve this attack. This wasn't on them. They had nothing to do with this virus that's running rampant in the world. Your average Asian person has nothing to do with it. There's no secret plot that they all got in the mail that said, "All right, look, we about to release the virus. Now y'all stay in the house and wear y'all masks like y'all been wearing, but we about to try to kill off the rest of the world, take over." That wasn't the plan. And to treat them as if that was the plan makes the rest of us look like ignorant assholes. So should have people came to their defense immediately? Yes. I mean, that goes without saying. So for me, anyway, as a person, I just view that as, yes, we should have came to their aid immediately and showed solidarity in treating people wrong based off of where their heritage is from or what they look like or any other substandard stupid ass things that we can come up with on how we treat people should be null and void. Treat them based on the character of the human being that they are. End of conversation. Enough said. Let's put that to rest. Dead it. But that was interesting. So then I got another email, right? And so the next email on the docket goes, "Hey Simon, why are men and women at war with each other?" And I was like, are you kidding me? How do I, as a podcaster, unpack that? Like, there's so much there to talk about. Like, I feel like, you're asking me the $1 billion question. Now, I always tell people I try to stay away from that as a conversation. I try my best not to discuss the fight between the sexes at the moment. And really that is based on the fact that I don't want to come off as a woman basher, right? That a lot of us as men have the opinion that women have made it extremely hard to be good mates. And a lot of it has to do with women feeling like they are independent instead of self-sufficient. I'm a big person to argue that point very frequently, that there's a unique difference between being independent and self-sufficient. Independent means you don't need anyone. Anyone being the key word in that sentence, that you are standing away from the rest of us as an island, which is not the case. You need us. You can be self-sufficient, meaning that you can take care of the responsibilities that are yours. That means your personal bills, your personal upkeep, so on and so forth. Those to me are very distinctly different. And women are always harping on their independence when they're not truly independent. And men kind of see through that fog, and it makes men feel like, and you know, there's different strokes for different folks, of course, but it makes men feel like as a whole, well, why do you need me? Why should I be over there messing with you since you so independent? You don't need me, right? That what I bring to the table isn't valuable to you, so why should I come to the table? And so I always tell women that that kind of beef is really why we're at odds with each other, is that we don't see each other's true value. And because of that situation, it has made it very, very hard to date in the modern world right now. It just makes it a hard thing to do, but you know how it goes. So it's just, like I said, I really don't want to throw women under the bus because I know that men have their own personal problems, and I could spend an hour discussing infidelity and abuse and not understanding how to lead, right? Well, a lot of times people have a conversation with men about leadership abilities. And I talk to people frequently, and I always say, you have to be taught how to be a leader or see someone lead and say, I would like to utilize that style within my leadership abilities. For a lot of us as men, we learn these skills normally through sports, emulating our fathers, and through us going and being part of the military or something of that nature, where we will get a opportunity to see great leaders, because leadership is something that you can't be born with in true reality. Like, some people are more easily to be followed, but that doesn't make them a great leader. You could be a very charismatic person, people can get behind you, and you can screw the pooch very easily because you're not a good leader. That doesn't mean people won't follow you. This doesn't mean that you're not a good leader. And, like using the sports metaphor, a lot of us has watched great NFL teams, and some teams you could always tell that their quarterback, the conventional leader of that football team, was trash as a leader. Right. And then you will look and you'll say, well, they had a lot of pieces of the puzzle, but that quarterback, their leadership wasn't good. Or you can look at really good teams that had a garbage coach, and then they got rid of him and bring in a better coach, and then that team strive for greatness. We see it very frequently, that it's easy for someone to point at, say, Michigan State basketball and talk about Mr. Izzo being a great leader. He doesn't always have the best teams, but his teams always come to play, and that's based off his leadership. And so for a lot of men, we're not taught those things outside of the realms that I explained to you. And so it makes it hard to be a leader. And then in today's society, it makes it even harder because women give you a lot of cues of they don't want to be led. And that makes it even harder in that. So, those are some of the ground floor reasons why we're at war with each other. I think that on both sides of the street, there has to be more understanding and more accountability. As a man, I feel like men, we have to learn to stand on our word, to do what we say we're going to do. and to be brutally honest. A lot of times, a lot of us get into trouble because we're not brutally honest. We're not telling women the truth and saying damn her feelings in this situation, because in the long run we're going to do more damage by keeping certain information from them. Right. And men, we have to take that accountability. We have to say to ourselves that sometimes it's uncomfortable to tell women, look, I like you, but I really don't want to date you or be in a serious relationship with you because you got badass kids. Right. That's a horrible thing to say out loud. But if it's the truth, then it's the truth. And sometimes you got to say that, sometimes you got to be the guy that says, hey, I like what you look like. I like hanging out with you, your personality, but your finances, everything else you got going on in your life is trash. Your cleaning up is atrocious. I come over here and it looks like somebody blew up your trash. I don't want to date you based on that, instead of what women accuse us of, which we do, is lead them on, is to give them the feeling of they're doing right and they're not, and you're dissatisfied. But you won't say that you're dissatisfied. And so on men's side, we have to understand to sometimes just go there, to be abrasive. On the other hand, that women have to say, hey, I come to the table with skills that men want you to have. And I think that's a very big thing for men, is that men are coming and asking questions of, well, none of the women I know can cook, And I've had this conversation. This is a conversation throughout the races. This is not just a black people conversation or a Latin people conversation or a white people conversation. This conversation is being had by a lot of modern men saying that the women that they are getting can't cook, can't clean. They don't understand any of the things that men traditionally believe that you should have within your skill set. It's great to have a very intellectual woman. Everyone wants someone to connect with them on a intellectual plateau. You don't want to feel like you're always hanging out with somebody who's an idiot, right? But on the other hand, men do want to feel like they're being nurtured, because when we're nurtured, then we work harder. We put in a better effort because we have someone there doing what I like to call the cheerleader. When you got someone on your team, rah-rah, and you're bound to do better. Women who have great mates and their man shows up to all of their things, they do better. Same thing with children. When you're the adult and you're showing up to your kid's football game, you're showing up to your kid's basketball game, you're going to dance recitals, you're doing the extra work, they perform better because they in themselves feel the pride. And they want to perform good for you as the person that's watching and rooting them on. It's a symbiotic thing going on, right? And so a lot of that is being lost within the relationship. A lot of us are fighting with our mates because the women that we are getting involved with have their level one together. She got her a house, she got her a car, she got some kids. And you come in as a man, you have a set of standards or rules and things that you would like to have go down. She has those set of standards, rules, and things that she believes goes down. We try to meet in the middle, and then there's a clash because no one knows their true role in power. The woman wants to be in power. It's her house, right? The man wants to be in power because that's his role. There's going to be a conflict there. So we have a lot of things to unpack. And like I said, you could go on for days and days and days. There's guys who are making millions of dollars that know more than me. But I would just say that as a whole, our biggest problem within the sexes is that we're not being accountable for our actions, and we're not stepping up to the plate and saying that we would like to be a team player. And that's on either end, on both sides of the sexes. We're not doing those things. And I think that's what's failing us now, So, all right. So we're going to take a commercial break and shout out to the new sponsor on the show, Stock the Bar Vodka. You know what we say around here. Drink with a purpose. Anyway, let's do a couple commercials, and then after that, we'll cover a couple of things that we got in emails that I saved for last. All right. So we'll be right back. What your boy used to say, in 2 and 2. Hey! Remember back in the days when you used to jump on the dance floor when you heard a groove like this, but your body just won't let you do it any longer? Well, hey, I got the situation set for you, baby. What you need to do is get with Earl's Asper Cream. That's right, Earl's Asper Cream. Earl's Asper Cream is made from the finest ingredients in America. That's right, here in America, baby. And anyway, Earl's Asper Cream is good for those hurting knees, that bad back, those elbows, and those shoulders. And if you don't want to take it from me, then go ahead and listen to one of Earl's happy customers.
Let me tell you, get yourself some Earl's Asper Cream, baby. I had a fracture, fucked up hip. I was sitting there in a nursing home of all places. I sat there, I was up and down that nursing home after I sat there and took some Earl's Asper Cream. And I ain't no nurse, baby. Earl's Asper Cream gave me that marathon strength.
That's right, Earl's Asper Cream. Side effects may include bigger balls, increased sex drive, harder erection, larger semen release, growth of facial hair, slide while you're walking, and a strong pullout game. That's right, baby. Earl's Asper Cream, here to help you get your groove back.
Brought to you by Mind Bender Incorporated in association with Ashy Radio.
Stock the bar vodka made right here in Michigan, distilled from Michigan red winter wheat. The red winter wheat provides this drink with one of the smoothest flavors known to man. Stock the bar vodka, premium quality. Our motto is smooth taste with a purpose. And now, the official sponsor of Shots Fired podcast. Stock the bar vodka. Pour up a glass. Drink with a purpose.
Welcome back to Shots Fired with Simon Phoenix.
Yo, as we slide back into the show. So I got an email and this one says this. What do people... I'm sorry, I'm thrown off. She kind of wrote it wrong. She trying to say, why are people acting like there is no coronavirus? Well, let's unpack that. So we've been about a year, I would say, maybe a little over a year of dealing with the coronavirus and what's going on worldwide, right? That we are in a true pandemic. And the problem is this, that you have two groups of people in society as a whole. That in these type of situations, you have people that really truly don't care. Their motto is, you're going to die. It is what it is. Me going outside and getting the dangerous, may kill you, disease, virus, heebie-jeebies, they don't care. In their mind, it is no more dangerous than getting on a plane. It's no more dangerous than them saying, oh man, I would have left my house today and walked to the corner store to get a pop. That anything can happen at any time, so what, right? And then on the other hand, you have those people who are cautious of all situations, regardless of if we were in a pandemic or not. These are the people that they were already wearing masks. These were the people that, they don't touch that glass with your hands. You're going to be yelled at, right? The germaphobes is what we like to call them around these here parts. So those two groups of people are at odds because you have a large group of people who don't care. And then you have society asking those people to kind of continue their behavior. Now, this is what I mean, right? That it would have been one thing if the planet as a whole said, we not moving, we not selling nothing, we not getting nothing, no nothing. Y'all at the house. If you ain't got it at the house, it's over. And the only people that can leave the house is the people dealing with food or medicine. That is it. We're done, right? And then a lot of people think that if that would have been done worldwide, we would be through this. And I mean, I'm not a scientist. I don't know that much. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that would have happened. Then on the other hand, you have people that are going, yo, hey man, we need this money. And therefore, because we need this money as a restaurant, as a delivery business, as whatever, we can't stop. That nobody care if grandma kicked the bucket. We don't care. She 85 and she got it. She could have just as easy died from the flu. That the majority of people are pulling through who get it. But those are semantics as an argument for people, because some people are going to be like, too many deaths, right? And then you're going to have some people that's just going to say, well, any death is too many deaths. And I can respect that and totally understand it. But then there's this group of people outside of that argument of the two groups I'm trying to get you guys to pay attention to. Then you have what I like to call the we don't care at all group, and they're teenagers. They're the youth. They are the people who feel like they are not going to die whatsoever. And I always make the jokes to the adults who are really trying that it don't matter what you're doing, how many times you spray off stuff, how many times you are going to be like, don't touch that, or I'm not going there, I'm not going on vacation, or I'm not going to see so-and-so because I don't want to bring corona to the house, because the kids don't give a shit. Since this started, the kids didn't give a shit. The kids was in spring break, both. We went through 2 cycles of spring break. They were at both, right? They ain't stopped going to Atlanta. They ain't stopped going to Vegas. They're definitely not hanging out and partying. Just because the bars are closing at 2, there's other establishments that are set up to stay open late, and the minors and the young adults are in there kicking it the hardest. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I find it funny because as the rest of us, we like, I'm trying to be safe. But your 21-year-old daughter is all at the corner store, kicking it outside, chopping it up. She don't care. She done been to 4 or 5 gatherings, no mask. They passing blunts and drinks. No one cares. And I'm just keeping it real. That's the group of people that if anybody murks us all off, it'll be our own children, because they're the most hard-headed people of everyone. Even the group of people who say they don't care and they're still moving around how they move, they're still courteous of the rest of us, right? They're still trying to say, well, at a minimum, I'm trying to wear my mask. I don't necessarily care, my G, but I'm gonna wear my mask, when I can. I ain't trying to be in everybody's face. Not the kids. The kids have no problem being like, oh man, we linking up. We at the spot tonight. We there. And they are in that thing. Oh, my mama and them gone out of town. We at your house, party over here. So I just look at it like, yo, people are going to do what they're going to do. I think that, this is a situation that I think it just has to run its course. I don't really put all my salt into, or should I say all my eggs into the basket of saying, oh yeah, if you get vaccinated, it's going to be perfectly fine. Especially when they're saying, well, the vaccination only lasts this long and you got to get a buffer. And then we're not even going to get on Johnson & Johnson. And we're definitely not going to talk about the nurse who passed out when she got the shot. We're not going to talk about any of those things and how weird it looks. Nor am I going to bring up the fact of being like, it's kind of weird. Like, we got a pandemic and then you guys came out with a maybe cure, but it's not a maybe cure. But it's not going to fix our situation. It's just going to say that it might do what the flu shot does, which is kind of sort of keep you from getting it, depending on who you are. What? It's just too convoluted for me to take it at face value of just saying, oh, take the shot and it's good. Because if you'd have just told me, hey, take this shot, we came up with it and it's a vaccination, it's going to last you for the rest of your life, you're good. And we have those kind of vaccinations. And so I can understand if that existed. But once you start being like, well, we're not sure, we don't know the side effects, we don't really have a lot of answers, but y'all take this anyway and shut the hell up so we can get back to working. Kind of scary to me, just kind of scary to me. So that has been the Sunday night rant. I have been your boy, Simon Phoenix. Shout out to our sponsor, Stock the Bar, for holding us down. Y'all already know how we do. So, well, is there anything else that I got for y'all now? I'm sliding out of here, man. I got things to do. I deepy. You ain't sleepy, Simon. I'm pretending I'm sleepy. I'm saying that out loud to people. That don't mean it's true. That does not mean it is true. But, you know, it do be worth a try. It be worth it. It be worth my try, dog. I be trying to, you know, set it up like that. I be trying. That don't mean it's always going to go down the way I like, but I try. So, you know. Anyway, I've been Simon Phoenix. This has been Shots Fired. Holla at your boy. I'm gone. Peace.
Grand Rapids number one DJ. DJ Blaze 616. DJ Blaze 616.
It's running. DJ L1. I was born a young Capricorn, south side of G-Rat. Wealthy street and Vista place where you can find me at. Posted up in Lady Love, first place on Miss Pack. Man had a plan to expand, we all need that. It's called. We all are. It's just. You gotta love it. I started off lunchroom table, beats by the pound, ciphers every day, tearing shit down. Beatbox, champ, bathroom, corner echo. Before I touch the mic, I control the turntables. On the corner sagging, reminiscing and bragging about who the coldest beatbox of Georgia. Craft smashed it. Lady love music, white rabbit abused it. Before the gat rap, the ice pick would do it. Now this hit is exclusive. Please don't confuse it with the everyday airplay, politic music. W-E-H to the B. Mikey Mike and Frankie J, mentors of me. I'm a wealthy street original, live individual. Analog music before spitting on digital. Real to real hits, red eye clicks. DDK days and nights, clubbing this bitch. This is. Yeah, we love. Throw your hands up high for. Touch the sky for. You gotta love it, gotta love it. G-Rap, worldwide, NBF, Eureka Hill, baby.